Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 24. It is now time for round 4 of our Moto3 career mode. It's time for the Spanish GP, it's time for Jerez, and we will start on the 3rd row on 7th place of the grid. Let's crack on. So here we go then, on the aforementioned 7th place. We'll wait the red lights to disappear as Joel Kelso starts this one in his first pole position on board the gas. Oh, a little bit wide goes Colin Vire there to the left hand side. I think it was Colin Vire, or maybe Zuratuza. Someone was going really far left for absolutely no reason, but into the Expo 92 we've gone from 7th all the way up to 3rd in just one corner. Yellow flags out into sector 1, so someone's gone down somewhere, no idea who it is, but look at us charging already. We're up to 2nd place, right in the crux of getting past on Joel Kelso. I'm just waiting for that opportunity, and I think I'm absolutely gonna send it. I don't know how good the AI is going to be in this one, but I'll be honest, I was pushed to my limits in the qualifier. I just could not find a 146, and that's what I needed to qualify a little bit better than that 3rd row. But I tell you what, already this is looking fine and dandy as we have the lead already going into the Pedrosa corner. So then into Danny Pedrosa, we are 0.3 of a second clear from Joel Kelso, but I think I've just made a small mistake there, which might give Kelso a chance to retaliate. There he is on the bottom of your picture there. Will Kelso find a lunge into the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner? Look at the amount of track limit warnings already. Kelso sizing me up for a lunge here. Does he go for it into the right-hander here for Angel Neto? He does not, and in fact he hasn't been able to claw the gap. Something might have gone wrong there for Kelso, because that gap has begun to increase. 66 behind us, and followed by Tatsuki Suzuki. We're in the best possible spot here in Jerez. Brilliant start for us. Colin Vire, who started well, has now gone backwards. I don't know what happened for him. He qualified well, should I say, but hasn't materialised in this race so far. Good to see team... Whoa! I know! Wow! I know you have to be a little bit careful on the traction control 1 for these Moto3 bikes, but I absolutely sent it then. I went full acceleration. That is completely preposterous to think that I wasn't going to get the rear kicking out there into the final corner here in Jerez. Goodness me. That certainly had our hearts in mouths for a moment there, but what a start anyway nonetheless. 1.3 seconds now clear from Tatsuki-san. Quick shout out to teammate David Munoz. He was up to 6th place a moment ago. It's good to see my teammate getting some points. He hasn't really been getting that many points from Qatar into Portimao. I think he had a few in Portimao, but I don't think he had any in the Circuit of the Americas. And in fact, he is going backwards, is the number 64. He's down to 8th place now, so hopefully he doesn't disappear from our timing screens on the left-hand side. But to be honest, I kinda am expecting it. Just at least aim to get some points for me, David. Trying to get that team's championship with the BOE Motorsports KTM team. As we now get onto the left-hand side, that gap has stabilised at around 1.2. Now I've read the comments and I've spoken to the guys in the Discord server, and you've all told me this, that Tatsuki Suzuki, Tayo Forasato are just too quick. I think I'm experiencing that myself now. Of course, the last wet weather race we had was in Kota, and of course there is where Tayo Forasato just went for it. Absolutely flew to the front, and he didn't see him again. I don't think he's going to do that here today, but I've got to be on my toes just in case the 2 Japanese lads catch us up towards the latter stage of the race. You never know how the adaptive AI is going to start kicking in for the middle part of this race. Anyway, we will conclude lap number 2. Tick that off on the sheet, as that's a 1:48.060. Not a very good lap time there, to be quite honest. I was used to doing 1:47s consistently within the qualifying, and I did a little bit of practice a few days ago with my friends Gilzo and Charlie from the Discord server, and I did get a 46 with the Leopard Honda, so we'll see what we can do with the KTM, but I would really like to get into the 146s here today. So I think even if we're going to just sit to the front here, I'm just going to absolutely launch it. Power setting 3, you name it, just go for it and see what happens and see what we can produce. Now of course the next race will be in Le Mans, and coincidentally that will be coming out just after the Le Mans Grand Prix race in real life MotoGP. So I think that's the last time that a race in career mode is going to coincide with a race that's happened at that weekend or during the weekend of the upload. So that's going to be a rare occasion. I do like to see it materialise that way. But as we go into the middle part of the track here, this is your turn 8. And we're trending to go into the 147s. But I tell you what is trending, that gap. That gap is trending upwards, my friends. It's going up, and it's going up relatively steadily. So as long as we keep on it, we shouldn't be able to keep that 2-second advantage. And in fact, what else is trending actually is this channel. Getting a lot of interest from you guys at the moment, so thank you very much for all enjoying the content. I do hope you want to come back and subscribe for more. If you do, don't forget to do that in the box below, whatever it is nowadays. I've forgotten. But yeah, I appreciate all this love and support I've had recently for the reviews, the guides, and of course this career mode as well. Got plenty more guides coming soon as well, so just stay tuned for more information and guides and tips and tricks and videos from myself very, very soon. So I do really want to crack on with the career mode though, because I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely my favourite content to record. I like the race distance, I like the plan that we've got going, it's really fun, so I'm just going to keep on churning out the career mode with excitement, motivation, and a lot of passion in the commentary as well. So anyway, let's have a look at the left-hand side of the screen. Top standings as it is the 2 Japanese then, who have found themselves up into the podium positions. The gap is 3.5 seconds as it is. Tatsuki Suzuki for Furusato, and in fact, looking at the graphic in the bottom left-hand corner, that's your map there, that's the track layout. There's quite a group going into Pedrosa Corner right now, isn't there? So you've got Suzuki and Furusato leading that charge. Alonso Kelso must be in there as well. I don't think it's unrealistic to say Zuratuza's in there with Munoz and possibly Colin Vire. That could definitely be a battle of about 6 riders or 7 riders, all in pursuit of the BOE Motorsports KTM leading the way here in the Spanish GP. Good to see the crowd have absolutely flocked to the Spanish GP here today. Look at how many fans there are. Looks really good actually. I don't usually pay attention to the fans here in these sort of games, but right now it looks quite packed. Flags are flying, everything. Looking damn decent if I do say so. Now into the left-hand side for the Lorenzo corner. Let's be careful on the throttle this time, which we do. Not kicking out the rear just for no point at all. But across the line, this is going to be the best lap of the race, guaranteed it is. It's a 1:47.321. Beautiful. I mean, considering, or comparing, should I say, to the lap time we set in the qualifying, that is extremely close, as we said, a 1:47.303. Very close there, ladies and gentlemen. So as well, guys, if you are interested in joining me in some online competitions or be part of my online championships and cups, then definitely head over to the DrAce Discord server. This is the Ace Academy. You can join there to register your interest for future cups as well. It won't be quite ready yet. We've just got a couple of things to sort out, organise some rules, and then eventually we'll be cracking on with the championship. So stay tuned for that. But to be honest, I highly recommend you just join the Discord server anyway, because if you're a fan of my content, you're a fan of me, then you're going to love the people we have in there as well. So there's some great, fantastic people in that community who like to discuss MotoGP, World Superbike, well, anything motorcycle racing or just motorcycles in general. You'll fit in absolutely fine. So head over to the Discord server if you do want to be a further part of this community. So into the right-hander then, this is the Angel Nieto corner, turn 9, as we now go a little bit of a wider angle to then bring it back in for the right-hander of turn 10. I must confess, I absolutely adore the circuit of Jerez. If you watched my MotoGP 23 videos, I did have a track ranking video, and I also had a top 10 of my personal favourite tracks. And Jerez, I think, has finished in the top 10 of my favourite tracks in every single MotoGP game. I absolutely adore this circuit. I think it's terrific, and it's one of those tracks I circle on the calendar every single time I play a MotoGP career mode. Whether I'm having a great season, a slow season, or maybe if I'm just looking to earn some championship points, this is the one I will always look at to say I'm going to have a good race there. And today, this does seem to be very much true. Leading this one by 5+ seconds to David Alonso, Tatsuki Suzuki, and Tyre Furasata down there in 4th. I don't think anything can rain on our parade here today. Oh, okay. A little bit of a cheeky track limit warning there. Hopefully I don't get too many of them. But to be honest, even if I do, I could probably get through the long lap penalty. I guess the only concern is that I don't practice long lap penalties. And to be honest as well, I expected to be getting a lot more long lap penalties now that I play on strict, rather than the tolerant penalties that I was playing in the previous game. So I'm glad that I've moved over to strict. I felt like I maybe got away with a bit of murder sometimes the older games, but I like the fact now that it's a strict, more serious way, so I've got to keep away from those track limits. Can't bump the AI riders now, can't have them impeded in the qualifying and such. Of course, not like we did that in qualifying anyway. I tend to only really do the laps I need and then move on. I don't really spend too much time with the practicing qualifying, unless it's a really sort of intense session where I need a good result. So to be honest, I know a few comments say that they'd like to see qualifying come back, but I think the majority of us are happy just with a longer race. It's just more fun and exciting rather than me just churning out a couple of laps, which is sufficient enough for a decent qualifying position. So across the line again then, it's a relatively decent lap time again. I mean, as long as I don't keep dropping into the 48s, I'll be relatively happy. I think I mentioned earlier on that I would really like to get to the 46s, but I don't think that's a necessity for today's video. I don't think that's the target objective. The objective is to beat Colin Vire and to win this race. And in fact, the whole idea against Colin Vire at the moment is to secure additional support from KTM. Now, KTM are already happy with our performances so far, which, considering that we'd finished some good races, some great positions. We've been on the podium every round, 2 pole positions to our name, and a victory as well. So as far as I'm concerned, KTM are going to be happy with our performance, but they're going to be liking a little bit more. Pierre and Mobility Group will be rubbing their hands together at the prospect of this 29-year-old British lad from Warrington. They'll be pleased with that very much so, and I think earning my stripes and colours here in Jerez. 6 seconds now clear from which a lot of people are saying is going to be the Moto3 World Champion this year. David Alonso, the Colombian, is a terrific rider with so much speed that you would expect him to be doing what I'm doing right now. I mean, he did it in Kota in real life, but he's not doing it now in virtual form. So onto the right-hand side then, this is the Crivier corner. We'll run it a little bit deep here, then bring it back in for the tight apex of Ferrari. I must confess that is a much better corner now compared to MotoGP 23. In the Ferrari corner in 23, if you touch that apex just a little bit too much, it was very likely for the rear tyre just to lift and then throw you off. So I'm happy that I can take that with such precision and aggression to try and improve the lap times. We still get back in to the 147s now, so I'm very happy with the performance we're putting on so far. And honestly, I think this is going to be one of those churning out lap times, churning out races where we just keep chucking in the laps, just looking beautiful and clean throughout the entirety of this Spanish GP. And I must confess that the first part of this race, the first part of the laps each and every time, Sector 1, feels magnificent with the Moto3 machines in MotoGP 24. They absolutely nailed the feeling of the Moto3 bikes. Of course, I've never been on a KTM RC250. I've never ridden in MotoGP, but I can imagine what it would be like in this virtual form. I think it feels fantastic, I really do. I'm really enjoying the Moto3 class, and I think every single season I do of MotoGP career mode, I think I love this mode the most. I love the Moto3 bikes. I always get excited for them every single year, imagining which team I'm going to join. It's exciting. I definitely enjoy the lower class racing, probably more than the Premier class, which I think a lot of people would probably disagree with, but I really like it. I wish they did live GPs for Moto3 and Moto2 as well, because I'd be well on top of that, I assure you. Really solid motorcycles these, and I do feel like I'm alright at these as well. I think I have a world record of MotoGP 23 still, which is not often that can be said, because usually whenever I upload a video, someone wants to go and beat my time trial. I guarantee if I ever post about anything being a good lap time, you guys will attempt to beat it, which I do not disagree with. That's the whole point of lap times. It's there, but it's like rules, isn't it? There to be broken. Bent. The rules are to be bent but not broken. Lap times, lap records, world records are meant only to be broken, I can assure you, so I don't mind that. So we once had someone leave the Discord server because too many people were beating his lap times after being set within the Discord server, which, yes, I know that is absolutely petty, but it happens sometimes, and we do get those interesting characters that pop up in the Discord. I mean, that's the same Discord I promoted not 5 minutes ago, and I still stick by it. I think it's a fantastic community, but yeah, there's every now and again the what's the term I'm looking for? The challenge, the battle, the camaraderie. Everyone wants to be the best. Everybody wants to have the best lap times, and when you get beaten so many times, I guess yeah, it can be a bit of a kick in the teeth. So anyway, quick digression there, is that there wasn't really much happening in this race. I'm just eyeballing up that left-hand side of the screen. There's only Joel Kelso who hasn't received a metaphorical slap on the wrist, which means a warning in this track. Myself, Forasata, Alonso, Suzuki, Zuratuza, Holgado, Vaya, all in the top 8 are all on some form of track limit warning or warning for either abusing track limits or maybe bumping a rider, crashing someone out, who knows, but there's certainly something going on behind us. So I'm really eager to see if anyone starts getting slapped with a long lap penalty. Is Matteo Batelli going to get one? Because he must be close now. I've seen his name pop up a few times. We've seen Scott Ogden and Joshua Watley almost receive a long lap penalty every single round. Suzuki, Holgado, both of them. Yeah, I'm going to have to say it again here. Holgado's having a shocker, isn't he? I mean, that's the 7th place, fair enough, but he's considered one of the best riders in Moto3 today. He was on the Gas or KTM, and now he's been moved over to the Husqvarna, which is still a KTM, and it's not going well. He's crashed out numerous times and just not had the speed or the temerity to fight for good positions. And there's Joel Esteban with a long lap penalty. Someone has taken the plunge for an LLP. Colin Via track limit warnings. How's his race faring on in 8th place? Well, he's 10.5 seconds behind us. Pierre Mobility Group are certainly eyeballing I was going to say a young British rider. I guess I'm not anymore. I'm end of my 20s. Almost 30. I will be 30 in August. Joshua Watley track limit warning for him. The young man from Surrey, Luca Lanetta, track limit warning for him as well. It certainly keeps you updated, doesn't it, the MotoGP stewards? I like how they can come up with a decision much quicker than the real life stewards as well. Sorry, Freddie Spencer. No little dig at Freddie. As we now go to the right hand side for Crivier. Here we go then, beautiful cornering. Didn't quite go onto the apex there for the curb. But as we start the last couple of laps, I really don't think anything can touch us now. This should be another 1:47 lap time. It's not going to be quite as good as the 1:47.321 we set on lap 2. It was a long time ago when we set that lap, but across the line anyway, it is a 1:47.737. So the lap times have been very consistent. Little bit weird to only have one lap time as good as my qualifying, but the rest has just not materialised. I did use the double soft combination in the qualifying for that time, and here we use the full medium combination for this one. As for Asata, just been given a track limit warning. He's just got the best of David Alonso, so the two Japanese are still very much in tandem for those two final positions on the rostrum. Alonso really needs to get some additional speed here and start to get back onto the podium, because his championship challenge is going to start going backwards. He was impervious in Qatar, you couldn't touch him, and all of a sudden a few mistakes started to creep up in his game. We are looking at a possible green delta as we went to the Pedrosa corner. We still are in the green. Could we finally get back into those low 47s? Hopefully we can get that 46 that I've been desperately coveting. Can it happen here today? It's not bad. It's still close, isn't it? If this was a qualifying lap, you'd certainly be on the edge of your toes. This means nothing, by the way. We don't need a 1:46. It's just for sheer pride and motivation and momentum for myself to continue to push at this sort of pace. Beautiful apex of Crivier there. Don't run it too deep. Don't run it too far onto the curb there as we go into the right. Oh no! Oh my god! Oh, what have I done? Oh, I've just binned it. I've just absolutely binned it. No way. Have I just completely ruined this race? I can't believe that. Heads in hands, ladies and gentlemen. What have I just done? That was a lead of about 7 seconds just washed. Oh my goodness, we lost 7 seconds compared to the previous lap. How did we lose 7 seconds? Maybe that gap was higher. I actually didn't see the gap. I can't believe I've just done that. I cannot believe I've just done that. You absolute fool. I said it didn't matter to us get that lap time, but... Okay then. Alright, let's just focus then. Let's regroup and recalculate what this gap is now. The gap is 2. I can't believe I've just done that. I do apologise for screaming in your ears, guys and girls, but I was not expecting that. I've moved closer to the desk now. We're really in tune with this one now. I can't believe this. What a mistake. Did I not say earlier on that corner was much better in MotoGP 24? I don't know when I said it, but I'm pretty certain I made mention to the fact that corner feels better in the 24th instalment of MotoGP. And it does feel better, but Muggins here doing an absolutely stupid turn. I can't believe I've done that. What an idiot. That's the biggest faux pas I've made this season. I don't think it's going to cost me the win. Oh, I've got another track limit warning. This is unravelling. This is going the way of the Duran Duran song. It's coming undone. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, Matt, you're an idiot. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. What have I just done? 2 seconds is the gap anyway. I don't think I need to worry here. Maybe I'm getting a little bit intense for no reason. We're going to get back into the 47s here. Across the line. 47.838. Yeah, it's alright. Just calm down, everyone. Just take it easy. For those who are still watching, I bet you're glad you stayed. I'm glad you stayed. Certainly helps grow the channel. For the longer you watch the video, the more the algorithm pushes the content. So, hence the reason why I say that. But yeah, I do really appreciate you watching it this far into the race. I know it wasn't that interesting, but that certainly made it interesting. I can't believe I've done that. I actually cannot believe it. I'm glad that we've been able just to get back onto the KTM and just go for it. But I gotta be honest with you, if there was bike retrieval, that used to take around 20 seconds, and considering how far away you fall from the motorcycle, you don't know how far you're going to be, so it could take even longer. But the general rule was you would lose 20 seconds per crash, which works in both ways, because of course the AI never did the bike retrieval. And at the same point, Joshua Watley's been given a long lap penalty. Forasat has been given a long lap penalty. So it's not just me who's having a tough time. Forasat is going to lose the podium if I'm not mistaken. I think he will. But yeah, basically getting back to my point just momentarily, David Alonso crashed in Qatar, and if the rider bike retrieval was still in that, we probably would have finished second in that race, because of course Colin Vire still pipped us on the line. So swings and roundabout, guys. The AI didn't do it, we don't do it. I guess it makes sense. But of course, if you're still wondering, bike retrieval is actually not in MotoGP 24. Would like to see that return at some point, but to be honest, I think most players just turned it off anyway. It's a great feature, but most players are just they don't like stuff like that because it makes the racing a little bit longer. There's a penalty on the left-hand side of the screen there. It was for someone. It must have been for... It could have been for Forasata, but he's now taken his long lap penalty. He's down to 4th place. You know what, though? That gap is not staying above 2 seconds. Tatsuki Suzuki is still within 2 seconds. I don't need to worry about this, right? Sorry, the commentary is going to have to go on pause here. I can't figure out. I think I'm losing time, you know. Batelli, there you go. Batelli did get a long lap penalty in the end. I think I might be losing time to Suzuki. Forasata's got him back. He's got himself back up to the podium position. Joshua Watley's been given another track limit warning. I went too aggressive on the power there. The MotoGP stewards have been busy in this one. Is Almanza? Oh, Almanza's been given a long lap penalty. That's a tough time for the River Cold Snipers team, isn't it? That gap has come down to 1.3. I think this is a little bit misleading though, because when we go into the final sector, we are able to pull time on Tatsuki-san. I don't think there's any damage to my KTM. Probably should have been, that was quite the hefty crash. But we're losing 0.8 of a second on this one, and that has pulled the gap down to 1.2. Please don't tell me this is going to come and bite me on the backside. Please, no. Oh, we're a bit deep there for the Lorenzo corner. 1.6 is the gap. Get quickly onto the power. Plenty of tyre left. I probably should have gone for the soft rear after all. But across the line, that's not a good lap time. That's a 48.4. When it matters the most, we usually deliver. This is not delivering. That gap could go down to less than a second here. Now, I always say you break the resolve of the rider behind you when you pull that 1 second advantage, but alternatively, and on the other cheek, it's possible to break the resolve of the rider in front of you if you reduce that gap to a second. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to falter, which I kind of already have in this video, but I am not going to allow that to happen. I crashed heavily into Ferrari, which was my own fault, but if we lose this race, then I'm going to be really disappointed in myself. We can't. There's no way. Surely not. The gap is still a second. It's down to 0.8. A little bit misleading there, just to catch you off guard. 0.9 of a second it is now. Goodness me, if he gets to slipstream, we could have a fight here on the last lap. I'm happy for this because it's a battle, but if I end up coming the worse off, I am going to be livid. Joel Kelso's gone down to 8th place. He was having a good race. Don't forget, he started in pole position. So far, the pole jinx is definitely happening, isn't it? I took a pole in Qatar, I didn't win. Don't know who took a pole in... Was it it might have been Alonso who took a pole in Portimao, and yet I won. I took the pole in Kota, and I didn't win. And then here we are today. Joel Kelso took a pole, and he's not going to win either. Unless he's suddenly conjuring something incredible up for this final lap, but I doubt that's going to happen. The gap going across the line is stable. That's the little gap it was in the previous lap. We should be fine here. I cannot afford to lose any more time. We did find 0.4 there. That was crucial. Colin Vire with the track limit warning. He could be going backwards here if he's not careful. He's getting outplayed by his teammate Zuratuza right now. Alonso, Holgado, both track limit warnings. If I'm not mistaken, Alonso had a track limit warning. He had a penalty, didn't he? Did he have a penalty in Kota? I think he did. Yeah, I'm pretty certain he did. Yeah, it was right on us towards the latter stage of the race, and he had a penalty. He certainly did. I'm remembering now. Well, this is it then. The gap is down to a second. It's one more lap here of the Jerez GP. We're going into the Pedrosa corner. With just 7 corners remaining. What can we do? 0.8 is the gap to Tatsuki Suzuki. Is he going to catch us in the final part of this Grand Prix? 0.7 is the gap now. In fact, he is actually closing. Is he going to be quick enough, though, to close the gap for one final lunge? If anything, he's going to go for that lunge in the final corner. But surely not. 0.7. Piqueras has been given a long lap penalty. Don't know where he's been abusing the track limit warnings, but I have seen his name pop a few times. Seen both of the Leopard Hondas popping up. The gap's down to 0.7. It could go down to 0.6 here. Surely he's not going to be close enough. I think we've done enough. Don't make that same mistake into Ferrari again, which we don't. Onto the brakes. Oh my God, Batelli's been given another long lap penalty. What a race for him. But we do go into the final corner, leading the way here in the Spanish GP. We might have crashed, but we're still going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race. Almost perfect. But as long as we get the 25 points, that's all that really matters. Tatsuki Suzuki pulled that gap in to 0.7 of a second. Shout out to teammate Munoz. Fastest man on the track. He did something I couldn't, and that was get into the 146s. That's incredible. Fair play to my teammates. But yeah, that is a solid result with the two Japanese riders in second and third respectively. So let's take a look at the championship standings, and yes, we now lead by a whopping 25 points. That's now a race victory ahead of the competition. 27 clear from Alonso and 28 clear from Colin Via. Brilliant! That's exactly what we wanted. So anyway guys, I'm going to leave you there. Check out the Teams Championship if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.